Woeisme and Scuff, game number 2 here, starting up in this best of 5. So if Woeisme is winning here on this map, he will be on match point. So Scoof really doesn't want to let that happen. And oh my goodness, what an opener here. This is quite a setup that we see here from Woe. This is a lot of AMX 30s here, and they are not setting up to be toying. They will just go for throat, I'm pretty sure. So Scoof better be ready in the south because there's a lot of heat coming his way immediately.
Yeah, so Skoof here is doing about as aggro as you can, really, do it playing 79th, double Recon helicopter opener, and double Rasvedka BMPs with the Monta Rasvedkas, and vetted to veterancy 1. Very important if you're buying Recon units that are supposed to carry you in fights, especially something like the Rasvedka BMP2. Get that extra veterancy, it will make it so much more capable in practice. Also, the 100 kph cheap defensive units, the Conquerors, the Iglas, also getting into not even standard positions. I think the Rasvedka BMP here is going to contest to fight for the middle, but I really can't see that thing winning against the Surblinde. If the Surblinde gets shots off against the Rasvedka BMP2, it will most likely be able to drive off the Motor Rasvedka as well, meaning that the middle will be like French reinforcement territory. And the French love to have that because they want to be able to build a wider front of area denial ATGMs, forcing the heavier tanks into smaller spaces and thus building engagements against them. The way to deal with something like an enemy that scales better than you is to manufacture the conditions in which you win. You get the dragon paras, you get the sightlines, you get the concaves, you get the positions for infantry to defend you if you have to retreat, and that way you slowly attrition away the more expensive units. And when the enemy suddenly gets swarmed by your stuff after trading badly, you can go to the Reddit and complain about this or that division being more too powerful because you didn't understand what happened.
And yeah, VLRAs here coming in with Dragon Paras, one AMX-10. They will try to blind the enemy. They will try to find at least one of the BMP2s. The Teresks can kill off the Mi2s quite early, but the tank blob likely will be spotted. Okay, Vo also going a bit back on this, dialing it a bit down. What's on the other side? TDBVK, first unit to be around. Conquers here coming through the middle. That has been set up from the get-go. BMP2s setting up pretty standard as well. Mi2 in the north, that is, yeah, it's pretty standard here. The double, the Skiffic opener is what it's called. We have a couple of really important decisions in the past that changed the meta named after players. This is clearly the Skiffic double helicopter recon opener. Skiffic brought that back with his WARNO videos, and all other competitive players basically followed suit. And there are a couple of other plays, like the Dark Neutron double tank opener, that are a bit more limited to who plays them or played them at the time. But this one here is just universally received as a really strong one, as the Mi2 helicopter is really cheap, and since the very good optics buff, it can see a lot. So for 30 points, getting those air optics is really, really nice.
Yeah, so a command tank coming for Skoof, which kind of makes me think that there could be a second tank also. The increased early game fighting capacity, even though it's very expensive, I think it is generally the right choice because the French can if the French can gain a suppression advantage, cohesion advantage against your single tank, they can risk some of their units in just a few seconds to drive close by. The AMX-10, AMX-30Bs, for instance, these are the cheap older generation tanks. They are significantly slower than the B2s, and they have really bad guns in that they don't have kinetic penetrators. They always just do the 15 point damage. But having those things around, they can open fire against the heavier tanks and they can suppress them. And if the tanks get suppressed, they will get stunned every once in a while, and they will lose significant like amounts of their aim time. Their accuracy will go down. With autoloaders, their rate of fire will not go down, but even then, the accuracy is just and the initiative advantage is enough for something like the Brennus to go and get the kill. And if this actually becomes like knife fighting with the AMX-30s, I would love to see that. The high veterancy for the AMX-30s once again kind of implies that this is going to be aggressive, as it should be. I love that we're in the high veterancy meta for such a long time in this game. The correct choice was to never go beyond veterancy 1. And but much like the Skithic helicopter opener, but with these expendable 30-point helicopters, that was there was no balance change really, except the slightly increased recon spotting for every recon unit. The points were kind of on the board there. The capacity to do that was always there, and it really was a Skithic who had the proof of concept. Now MiG-29 AA3, armed with the high-tech missiles, goes and takes out both of the Alouettes. That's actually a really big deal, because that denies Woe the vision of what the first units are going to be. The fact that this is a pretty predictable opener with flame tank, command tank, OSA, two Rasvika BMP2s.
The SU-22, 25, this is going to be really brutal. Oh, it gets the first Dragon Power, even with the transport still going on. MiG-29 also keeps the Gazelle cannons back. Oh, Scoof going for a similar opener that ruined one of the semifinals games for the SU-25 AT here is really, really scary, and there is not enough AA around for this. This is going to stop 5th Plane Day dead in its tracks. There's no way Woe can push into this. This is the perfect opener here from our player in red, as the SU-25 AT has no villain here that can stop it. The Roland 3 only now coming up, and that will take so long to get to the front lines. The AMXs can't really push to it. MX-10 in the north has to immediately disengage here. At least stays alive, but you basically need fighters against that, and all the French fighters, they aren't up on the level of the MiG-29, so this is going to be really tough to stop.
Yeah, another Su-25 is getting called out here with the recon deploying and providing even more permanent spotting than the Mi-2. The Mi-2 most likely does actually spot the tanks on long ranges right now, and Woe is popping preemptive smoke to be able to capture this position without the enemy sniping out his command AMX. And right now we're seeing the close range engagements. Oh, AMX-30B getting a first shot in, and with the Su-25 going after the second one. Miraculously, all of the French tanks so far alive, with some really good hits done on the T-80. Whoa, just microing the smokes and the engagements just a little bit better here.
MiG-29 going down as well, so this is going pretty well for Woe, as good as you could hope. Oh, good hit against the T-80 BVK, immediately taking that out of the equation. The Gazelle cannons running into a BMP2, that's not optimal, but those are replaceable. Those are not the important units here, and he pushes the enemy back from the push that was maybe a bit overeager here from our player in red. They have way less units on the ground, and they didn't get the kills at all. AMX-10 RC still going strong in the north, and the Su-25s push back. The MiG-29 that you can't afford to lose already down, and this is now Woeisme's time to shine. Woe wants to get the push in, and Woe can get the push in here, I believe.
Yeah, Protoss, I think I'm actually 10 seconds ahead of you. I'm trying to catch back to you, so I don't spoil these engagements.
Yeah, Conqueror's here trying to come around. We see BMP2 pushing forward. Dragon Power trying to get into the deeper. AMX-30B goes down. Both AMX-30Bs going down. Oh, this is not... This is the kills that now Scoof needs to actually have a chance of stopping this. Another Su-25 out in the skies kills the AMX-10 RC in the north. It's the least important AMX-30s that fell. Those were the two normal AMX-30Bs, the old variants, but the Brennus and the AMX-30B2 leader now a bit more vulnerable. Su-25 finally getting pushed back by the Roland 3. BMP2 here trying to fire against the VAB, Super Blinde in the south, staying alive against the SU-25. Roland not able to get the hit, but the TRM 2000 and Roland at least good enough to stress this SU-25 to leave the battlefield. And yeah, the units on the ground here, number-wise, not that great right now for Scoof. Scoof only getting one more TAD in, one more BMP2, so the push of the French can continue for now.
Yeah, this is the thing here. Like this, the air opener worked out really well, but even then, the losses that were gained were not the crucial ones. The Brennus, the Roland, and the AMX-30 leader are still all alive, and 2 more Brennuses are coming in as reinforcements. The thing that Scoof is lacking due to investment in all of those airplanes is just numbers.
Oh, he gets the snipe with the Conquerors though. AMX-30 leader gets sideshotted. They at least get the BMP2 in the south, but the leader of Evo is down, and Woe didn't even capture his alpha point, so Woe is not getting the tick here anytime soon. The north is fully occupied by Scoof, and Scoof can make it wide now. He has the SU-25s, there's no AA in the north, so Woe has to go through the south for now, where his AA is, where he can anchor around the Roland 3s, and he's down now to only one AMX-30 Brennus, and there's a TADBV on the other side. Woe is starting to get stranded here.
Yeah, the numbers advantage means that there are just more points of contact for the Brennus getting hit by the T80 here, but fortunately Smoke Mortar and the Jaguar gets a stun in here, did not get the kill there, would have been crucial, but even then smoking it off, very important to keep up the numbers here. The sheer map control you can have by having the risk of something like a Grenadier Voltage or Apilas that can absolutely devastate any vehicles on really accurately on 750 meter range. The planes are currently all rearming and repairing, and they will come back in a moment. But by that point, Woe has been enjoying a numbers and initiative advantage down on the ground. And right now, with the 2 T80s pushing forward there, as I pointed out, those positions that you can put your infantry in this forest, Woe seems to be retreating to those, and that means that they will be able to punish the T80s if they get just a little bit too close.
Yeah, T80 now in range. Eats a Apilas from the front, and there comes the Brennuses, the 2 second Brennus coming around the corner. First T80BV going down. We have an MX out one in the rear line as well here. And the Brennuses both hurt now, but the T80BVK gets hit as well, gets pushed back. And yeah, running into an Apilas, never a healthy thing to do, especially not if 2 Brennuses come around the corner right at that moment as well to eat you alive. And now it's Woeisme with the big advantage on the front line again. But here we go again. Double ST-25 out in the sky. Coming in here for the flanking kills. Roland 3 is there, but it's only a single one. There is a Mistral a bit further back as well. But if those missiles here can find their target, that would be still pretty problematic. There is a Mirage out as well. ST-25 here still pushing for more. Roland 3 gets the first one damaged. Gets the second shot out, doesn't get a kill there, but the Mirage coming in, getting the kill there. Ooh. 2 successive missiles and going for the S-25 rocket in the rear as well. And the OSA only finding 1 hit so far, might get another shot on the way out. No, the Mirage I think flies too far and too high. No, there we go, shot goes out, but it does miss. And that is a big victory there, once more for Woe. Scoof not getting the value out of the SU-25 that they hoped for. TADBV coming in from the rear, as we have still a decent amount of BMPs on the front line, but only 1 TAD right now up there.
Yeah, but the Motorstruck BMP actually performed really nicely there. They worked in tandem with the Conquerors that got re-armed behind the smoke here and actually got the Brennus kill inside the smoke. Now they're currently spotting for the T80 to provide fire against the Grenadier Voltigeurs. Those things are vetted up so they can survive the stress for a moment, and they're large squads so that they can survive and get themselves repaired by the TRM 2000. But oh no, the BMP-1 is getting... BMP-1 misses with the Fagot missile, and with reinforcements, 2 more Grenadier Voltigeurs coming back there. The infantry fight here will be the French salient, but they're supporting vehicles, the Brennuses, are currently repairing, and they don't have the control over the middle citadel area as much as they would like to. I think Woe is likely going to attack that with some smoke, but and oh no, Mirage F1s, double fighters going after the Su-25s and
Yeah.
taking it out. That's the AT variant. That's a really dangerous one.
And the Iglas here, not in high enough numbers, no coops around to kill these planes off, and the also are there too short range, so in the end, works out quite nicely. AMX-10 hot here, coming around. The airplay of Scoof has been countered. Scoof is the one on the +2 though. Has even a +3 up now, as the Alpha Zone never got captured. There was never a new CV after the AMX-30 CV died on Woeisme side. That Conqueror's side shot really the most impactful thing happening so far, giving us this big point lead that Scoof is enjoying right now and getting even higher up. 400 points is a nice thing to have, but they obviously at the moment need to focus more on the KD. As of now, points aren't winning you the game just yet, but it's getting into a sweeter spot there with each minute that ticks by here for Scoof, and that for sure is important. More TADBVs coming up, more BMP2s, and if you get a nice ATGM wall up, then the French will struggle to push through that.
Yeah, so the Grenadier Voltigeurs actually getting into the citadel almost unharmed because Scoop's infantry were out of position, and now the French troops in the better squads are in the buildings and will likely be able to do a lot of damage. Taking out the Conquerors alone is crucial here. Own with an AUF-1 autoloader equipped artillery piece here as well. Now this is the AMX-10 HOTS are in nice positions, getting a nice hit against the command tank there. And in the southern front, there's still a Surblinde in a position to move out and strike at the sides of any mech that actually tries to get into the middle of Bravo. Meanwhile, the Apilas also can provide a very crucial damage there. The way to get in here for Scoof, I think, is actually the Motostrelkis. The Motostrelki and the Spetsnaz crew just have to get out there, and they have to provide the fire support with contact targeting. Oh, the Mirage performing amazingly here, taking out the expensive AT helicopter. But Coops and Osas, especially on this tightly packed map, getting a lot of damage done. I think we are going to see here the thing that I mentioned earlier about the BMP2s versus the French infantry. The BMP2s start to be on the field here. And basically, the BMP2 and Motostrelki combo, as all mechanized infantry works, is that if the BMP and the Motostrelki are engaging an enemy infantry squad and nothing else is participating in this, the BMP2's damage is insane. It doesn't show immediately, but wait for like 15 seconds, and the damage that gets done is very crucial. Another BMP getting a front hit by an LRAC, but Scoof microing it away and saving these very crucial and still very affordable 60-point infantry fighting vehicles.
Yes, AMX of 1 here is a great investment, I believe, for the long run here by Vo, getting in the early artillery from the get-go, taking out Conqueror's position where they can, but the BMP2 and TADBV combo here is something they have to keep in decently low numbers so that the French armored formations can push forward, get a kill, and move back before too many ATGMs from all sides come down to them. Or the TADBVs can just one-shot the AMXs here too easily. And it's going decently well at that right now, but Woe is still the one that needs to get a push on somewhere late, as the +2 still ticking here for the red side, 700 points advantage. So getting into the aggressive mode with 5th Plane Day is pretty tough, and that air opener from Scoof here with the 79th really was a genius move to get the 5th Plane Day onto the back foot. It didn't work out super well with the planes, but it still got the terrain advantage that the 79th is profiting from right now.
Yeah, the Su-25s risked it all so that the BMP2s could thrive, really. And now the BMP2 thriving is going to start happening here. And with the French infantry getting pushed away from the front of the Bravo forest, this means that basically every likely engagement here is going to be had on long ranges. And the French can do long range defense very well with their ATGMs and their ability to deploy really quickly, and their good supply. But if the combined arms of 79th actually gets online, there is an Akatia here now. There's going to be a bunch of Motostrelkis all around the place providing contact. There's going to be some kind of an air advantage, I think, because the Koops and Osas are just way too good, and I don't believe the 5e gets seed. The Mirages are up in the air, and there's a Jaguar AT as well, likely going to try to punish either AA or T80s. But yeah, so far this scaling here really going in favor of Scoof, and the points advantage due to the lost not capturing this alpha point is really starting to hurt here. Woe is going to be forced into long range engagements on Scoof's terms.
Yes, MX10 HOTS here, trying to get some damage in. The MX of 1 still doing a decent job, but BMP2s here with the long range fire, really scary. Decent engagement for Woe here so far, getting a Motostrike, getting a BMP2, losing one infantry of his own, but his Brennus and Super Blinded flank here in the south, that could be really impactful later on. More T80 BVs coming around, the number currently only on 2 on the front line, and 1 more in the north, 1 more coming up from the rear. If that reaches 5-6 T80 BVs, it's going to be something that is nigh unstoppable for the AMXs in a direct fight. So Scoof trying to scale up here, but I think Woe finally gets into a position where they can start attrition away the enemy. And the Motostrike is here dying a bit too quickly. BMP2's dying a bit too much as well. Woe finally got to a sweet spot here with the French.
Yeah, the Brennuses and the AMX-10s are now moving up there. The spotting gives, and the autocannon combo just deletes Motostrelki immediately, and the Razvedka is not really in position. Suddenly there aren't that many things that can actually act. There is actually nothing that can spot the southern flank here. So the Brennuses and the AMXs are going to be deploying recon and firepower very close with nothing here to stop this. The fight for the middle citadel has not been finished yet. It is technically in the control of Scoof, but Scoof cannot use it to hurt.
The flank from the south, getting the T80 BVICD, BMP2 going down as well. This is what Woeisme needed. The MX30B2 leader got damaged again, but it didn't get taken out this time around. And now for Scoof, there's only 1 T80 BV leader and a BMP2 here in the center. Gets the Jaguar AT, gets 1 AMX30, but his units from the north need to come around quickly. He has 1 more T80 BV coming up from the rear. Rapiras being bought, but they're coming in a bit late here, as this push is happening and it's getting through the south. Woe still a bit scared, doesn't push the CV right in there, so the +2 does continue, but the Brennuses here from the side are dangerous. Oh, that could be the end of the Osa. No, Osa doesn't get spotted, but the T80 BV leader gets. And Akatia here in a dangerous spot as well. Can't really move anymore. Engine destroyed on the T80 BVK, and it's showing side armor. It shows side armor. Oh, this is going to be so brutal. Brenner's there with the side shot, gets the kill. As the Akatia is using direct fire here now, trying to desperately hold this point, but the coup goes down as well. Woe with such a well executed push here.
Yeah, with the numbers advantage and the fact that the veterancy gives you a slightly faster reload time. Oh no, the T80 missing the point blank shot on the T80 BB, but still managing to survive with all of these Brennuses. Su-25 rocket blind firing, trying to get the Surblinder here, and T80 getting into knife fighting range. Oh, this is a huge risk here. With the cohesion going down on the French tanks already, they might be able to get the first shot.
Jaguar AT gets the next T80 BV ICD, they're sniped. These numbers are dropping here. The combined arms is falling apart. The Rapiera's finally coming around. We have a decent point lead here for our player in red, but they need to start getting some trades, and they don't get those as the 3 French tanks trade 1-1 against the T80 BV, and that's obviously a massive victory for the French here once more. BMP2 kills off a TRM 2000, but it will lose against the Brenners and the MX10 RC there, trying to get out of there as an Mi-24 comes around. But the TRM 2000 here for the rear flank getting into a scary spot as well, as this is pretty critical now for Scoof. Scoof, as I said, still has the +2, has 1,200 points, has the north in a decent position, but just needs to get some trades on here finally again, as all T80 BVs have been cleaned off the map.
Yeah, the defense in depth here with the Rapiras and the BMP2s, and as well as the Mi-24P, the best helicopter, I believe, though only with 479th, though only with 4 Kokon missiles, so not really that much lasting capacity in defense. This is it's not the worst position for Scoof. There could have been an actual complete failure here, and losing the T-80 up north, which was trying to do a flank down southwest from down to southwest from Delta. That did not happen. All with the Mirages diving against the Mi-24P, getting an expensive and crucial unit here, and even surviving against that also. There are positions. There is no French infantry in the front forest, and the Motostrelki RPG-22s will likely be able to get some damage done here if Woe doesn't manage to escape from there. There is the Tarask waiting for enemy planes to suppress them before. There is also a KPV, which is opening 50 cal fire on the commandos, could actually get a very juicy hit here, taking out the commandos as well as the Super Puma. Though unlikely, yeah, the DPS is not enough. There's no stun.
Yeah, and the CV tank of Woe got killed here once more. Roland 3 is actually under fire here, but the BMP2s just don't seem to get a foot on the ground anymore. As Woe has to bring a new CV around. I'm not sure if Woe has realized that his CV got lost there. Ooh, another MX-30 Brennis goes down to RPG-22. Finally, some important kills here for Scoof. Taking out all the Brennises is pretty key. Rapira here trying to come around from the side. Might find a Dragon Para. No, not quite finding that. But the BMP2, just before dying, killing the CV tank, that is really key here, because we are more than halfway through this game, and we are 1,350 points and slightly taking here for Scoof. And Scoof is on the back foot here. Scoof is not going to be able to make any massive push in this game, most likely ever again. But they don't really have to. They just have to hold out on the spot they are in right now. And that is a manageable position. They need to reinforce the north a bit. They need to set up some defenses here in the south. But they don't even have to go through half of the game anymore. And they are above 1,400 points ahead before any CV gets anywhere close here. Finally, a P4PC and an AMX-30 leader have been brought in. But Scoof may be a bit too late with the defenses in the north. And if they get overrun, this could still deteriorate pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's a Grenadier Voltigeur Apilas next to the T-80 BVK. I don't know if Scoof has realized this, but this is a huge risk here. Oh yeah, now the T-80 taking a lot of...
Oh, 2 BMP2s going down. And with reinforcements still inside, the MX Prentice is here just sniping them. Massive mistake by Scoof. T-80 BVK disengaging again. But 2 more BMP2s going down like that, that's not something you can afford here. As imagine those being right now in the north, the situation there would be so much easier. Igla here in the middle getting pushed out. The reinforcements in the north coming in all a bit late. 3 BMP2s finally coming in there for the defense, but losing the BMPs with units still inside, that's just something that you can't afford if you're already in the spot that you are in here as Scoof.
Yeah, the Ecklerer getting a spotting position up north is an amazing way to show how you actually can use recon. You get the recon out there, you have the AMX out once, just open fire at the first few units to recon spots, and then immediately you have 2 infantry squads out there, and they can get in there.
Everything is falling apart. The south is completely collapsing. The T-80 BVK, the Rapira, all down. Only one AMX, the 10 RC went down on the other side, and I think this is it. Like, this is going to get the rear point here, and there is nothing to stop this. And then, how do you push into AMX 10 hots? How do you push into 3 AMX 30s here? You just don't, most likely. The SC-25s didn't do it, and Scoof just losing a couple too many T-80s and BMP-2s basically for free here. And this trade is just not going the red side's way. Woeisme with a really clean fashion here. Even after that somewhat messy early game, is just getting through here. SC-25 finally starting to get some hits, as the Mirage is not quite there this time around, but the AA defenses got taken out time again as well, so the Mirages still find the kill here, and that's most likely the last SC-25 we will see this game. And the North now getting captured, take about to be turned around. P4 can just continue on for the +4 in the south, and yeah, it's 60 minutes still. There is more than enough time if the real zone falls this early on, and There's only TO55s coming on. Nothing here can stop this push, really, as the T80BVs just were misused heavily time and again here.
Yeah, the like Woe is I really love Woe's usage of smoke mortars. In both games so far, we've seen Woe use them right at the right position and have perfect timings so that the infantry can engage and that the enemy ATGMs can be out of the game for just the correct seconds, not doing like massive preemptive smoke barrages that your enemy can play against, but holding either singular positions with a constant barrage, or then doing a singular barrage under which you drive in and take the position, thus completely like bypassing your enemy's defensive advantage. Though BMP2's getting some nice damage done here on the Grenadier Voltiger FR1s up north, but this front line is already too wide. The ATGMs behind this infantry defense, they are more than enough, I think, to hold on the north.
Yeah, +6 going on here now. AMX30B2 in the north still going on. The Motostrelki is not able to push through. Another SU-25 actually being able to get in here, but even with a +4 from the south alone, this game would already not go the way of Scoof, and Scoof is down. It gets to +6 now. 7 minutes to victory here for Woe. Woe getting a lot of points per minute here right now. 240 points that are added on top each minute here, and with still 14 minutes remaining, this shouldn't be an issue. Most likely even being able to go for +8 relatively soon in the north, as the trades here are still really one-sided at this point.
Yeah, the Mirage F1s have been performing amazingly. They are 200-point fighters with limited weapons loadouts, a lot of gun ammo instead of missiles, which is what we want to see, of course. We want to see the missiles. They are way more practical, but the gun ammo really gets to be used here, considering these are the fastest fighters. They are 1,325 speed. That is the same speed as with the F-15 Eagles. So those things can close in on the Su-25s really well. And the Su-25 having only 10 points of ECM, it's actually pretty vulnerable to even the French missiles, which are not the best that NATO has to offer.
And here we go. GG is called, and we are on match point now for Woeisme. Nearly a 2-1 KD here in the end, and it's a 2-0 lead for our player in blue. Woeisme now